Which leads me to ask practically, well, how do I begin to implement that? Well, so a number of thoughts. Firstly, the intent of dhikr and dua is to be perpetually and regularly in dhikr and dua. That is, I need to first realize the importance of that. That is, I need to have my heart and struggle to have my heart in dhikr all the time. That's what I want as a Muslim, as a mu'min, as a seeker to Allah Azza wa Jal. My goal is to have my heart perpetually in the divine remembrance, without any moments and periods of heedlessness. Oh, that's a noble and sublime goal, and that's what I want. And I want to be regularly and constantly and lovingly in dua to Allah Azza wa Jal as a regular habit. So the first thing to do is, that's my goal. I have to know the importance of those two divinely created instruments, and I must seek constantly, with struggle and with work and with striving, to be in dhikr and to be in dua. Number two, to realize it takes struggle and it takes work, because the lower self doesn't like to be in divine remembrance, and the lower self does not like to be in dua to Allah Azza wa Jal. So it takes work, and it takes struggle, and it takes effort. Number three, Ramadan is a beautiful time to do that, because the reality of fasting is to fast away from what Allah doesn't love, to fast away from the extras, to fast away from the hudud, from the caprice of my lower self, to fast away from thoughts, feelings, ideas that Allah doesn't love, and ultimately to fast away from everything besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the nature of Sawm is imsak, to refrain. And Allah ta'ala created Ramadan in such a way that the shayateen are chained. وَصُفِّرَتِ الشَّيَاطِينَ, they're chained, they're fettered. And the doors of Jannah are open, right? Meaning that good is easy. Al-Jannah, literally the doors are open. But then also at the level of the world and space-time, it's easy to do good. And the doors of Jahannam are closed, yes, literally, but also in space-time, that it's difficult to do evil. So this is a good time to be in dua. This is an easy time to be in dhikr, and an easy time to be in dua. And in dua, the grand incentive is that the dua of the fasting person is accepted at any time. For all of these long hours in North America, all of the long hours of fasting, more opportunity for dua, more chances for dua, more moments for dua. And as the heart is being, as the spirit is expanding, because we are contracting our sensual and material desires and needs, as the spirit expands, it wants to be in dua. And the dua of the fasting person, and you would have experienced that, is more special. The heart is more aware, it's more present, is more sensitive to the realities of the spirit and to the realities of the spiritual world. So this is a beautiful time to renew the intention, to make ihya of the intention, to be in dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal, and to be in dua. And practically, to be in dhikr, what I would suggest and remind myself and you, so two things. One is after salah. After salah. Don't hurry. Don't hasten. Where do I want to go when I'm with Allah Azza wa Jal? What's better than coming from the divine presence and being in repose and quietude and focus and in khalwa and in seclusion and sitting 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes collecting my qalb, collecting my heart in dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal, with the beautiful supplications of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he made regularly, and that are the sunnah of dhikr. So if I do that, practically speaking, 5 times a day, I'm going to be in dhikr for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, focused dhikr. And that's wonderful to do, and that's essential to do, and that's where it starts, practically speaking. And number 2 is, outside of salah, to be in dhikr. Wherever, whenever, whatever. And if I forget, simply refocus my heart and start again. So those would be the 2 practical commitments to dhikr. And lastly, for dua, to make it a wird, to impose upon ourselves dua as a wird, meaning twice a day, 3 times a day, once a day, 4 times a day, I'm going to be in dua, whether I want to or not, and especially when I don't want to be in dua. And I'm going to sit for 5 minutes, and I'm going to focus in dua to Allah Azza wa Jal. And I'm going to be as real as I can. Because, in our dua, we can't pretend. Allah knows me. Allah knows exactly who I am. And what Allah wants me to do in dua is to confess who I am. To be truthful about who I am. About what I've done. About what I feel. About what I find difficult. About what I find seemingly impossible. About what I need. About what I want. So impose that. Hafidhakumullah. Let me impose that upon myself. Dua. Once a day. Twice a day. 3 times a day. And you can connect it to the salah, which is a wonderful way to do it because it's consistent and regular. And if I do that with dhikr and dua, then inshaAllah, Allah by His rahmah will endear that to me. Will make dhikr beloved to me. Will make dua beloved to me until they become, as we said in the beginning, the oxygen of my heart. And I can't do without moments of dhikr. They are the most bitterest, sour, dour moments of my life. And I can't do without dua, because dua is the umbilical cord between me and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah make us of those who have that intense, profound attachment to His remembrance and to imploring Him and to beseeching Him in dua.